Hello, Leah here. All right, today I want to talk to you about fluency and how it is, fluency of operations, that is, and how it is going to relate to various questions on the SHSAT. Today, I'm just going to give you an example of something that came up. I was working on this with one of my students, and I said, oh, this is just operations. There's a little bit of conversions here to think about and do with the math. But the majority of this problem is just understanding operations, working with decimals, and multiplying. So I tell this to my students, I tell this to my parents that I work with, and the thing is that for this test, we cannot use a calculator, so we have to be strong in our operations. And it's something that I really like to hone in on because I think that everybody is capable of getting there with them. But it is something that we need to practice doing and just remind ourselves of certain areas where we can get caught up, or maybe little techniques to keep us organized and things like that. Okay, straightforward question. Using the approximation that there are 2 54/100ths of a centimeter is in 1 inch. So about 2.5 times a centimeter is equal to 1 inch. How many centimeters are in 4 feet 7 inches? So since this is in inches, only inches, I want to convert all of this to inches. So one thing we should just know is that every 12 inches is equal to 1 foot. I hope that we know this. And just think about a ruler, 12 inches every 1 foot. So what does that mean here? That means that if I do 4 times 12, I'm going to figure out the number of inches in 4 feet. So if I've got 48 inches for 4 feet, 12 times 4 is 48. And I've got these extra 7 inches here. In total, 48 plus 7, I am dealing with 55 inches. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the conversion to figure out how much this would be in centimeters. Okay, so how many centimeters I have. And sometimes I would say, listen, can you just look at it and estimate 55 times 2.5? Well, 55 times 2, I'm going to do that quickly. 55 times 2 is 110. And then 2.5, I take half of 50, that's 25. So I add on another, let's just say 26, 27. Let's just add on 27. Right? That would be about 137, which brings me close to this answer. That's an approximation saying what is 55 times 2.5? 55 times 2, and then half of 55 is about 27. Adding these up, we get 139. We get something close to 139.7. Let's say all of the answers were like 139, 139.1. You know, we wouldn't know which one our answer is. So we actually can also just do the multiplication. And if you feel comfortable with multiplying decimals, multiplying larger numbers, this isn't going to be an issue. So every single inch is equal to 2 54/100ths of a centimeter. So 2 54/100ths of a centimeter is for every 1 inch. So 55 inches, we're going to figure that out by multiplying 2 54/100ths times 55. I'm going to start by ignoring that decimal place, and I'm going to use the standard algorithm. 4 times 5 is 20. 5 times 5, 25 plus 2, 27. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 2 is 12. I'm sorry that this looks a little sloppy. Bring down my 0 because I'm moving on to the tens place. 4 times 5 is 20. So 0 down here. We have a 2 up here. I'm just going to write over that one. 5 times 5, 25 plus 2, 27. So 7. And then we got this 2 again. 2 times 5 is 10, and then 12. It's going to be the same because it's 55. You're multiplying the same thing. You know, 2.54 times 5, 2.54 times 5 by another 5. You know what I mean? So lining these up, 0, 7, 9, 3, 1, 2 decimal places, 2 decimal places, bam. This was our approximation, which is great. It worked out. Just another way to double check there. So multiplying decimals, it's gonna come up. It's gonna come up here. It might come up when we're dealing with ratio problems, area, perimeter, algebra. It comes up. You will have some order of operations and some simplifying where it will literally just tell you to do certain things. But for the most part, I think that we're going to get a lot of these calculations within other problems. I want you to feel strong with this, and this is a great place to get started if you are practicing for the SHSAT. So in my course that I have online, you could just think about it as like a resource kit, a resource tool. I do have some problems that go over these types of questions, and you'll just be able to see them and practice them a little bit there. If you're interested in that, you can go to my website, Robbins, ROBBINS, readylearning.com. And I'll put it in the comments. But other than that, let me know what questions you have. I want you to feel prepared going into the SHSAT next year. If you are a 7th grader right now, summer, this is the time you should be studying. And I'm here to help you if you have any questions. I want people to succeed on this test. It is a beast of its own compared to the other things you've probably been working on in school, but you can feel really good about studying and preparing, and no matter what happens on the test, whether it gets you into the school that you want or it doesn't, it's going to prepare you for so many things in your life, honestly. All right, so let me know what questions you have, and we will talk soon.